Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my wonderful interviews. I haven't done an interview for a while, so it's great to be back doing that. And you may remember, every now and again, we talk about an event that has been growing in popularity up and down the countryside. And if you are in the slightest interest, and you've never been to one of these before, this will be the event for you. My good friend Liz Phillips is joining me today to tell us about the most recent Great Resist. Hello, Liz.
Hello, Richard. What a nice introduction. Thank you very much.
Ah,
Yes,
well,
we're off to Thetford
oh,
at, at the
fantastic.
very kind invitation of the Patriots and Veterans of East Anglia.
Oh,
And they've
lovely.
kindly invited us, and we're so glad to go. They're such a wonderful organisation. And Thetford is the birthplace of Thomas Paine. And Thomas Paine went across to America and was very high in getting slavery abolished. We always think of William Wilberforce and we forget about Thomas Paine. So we're in Thomas Paine country, and so Thetford on the 22nd of February.
Sounds brilliant. And I've been to Thetford, and they in the pub, I think called the Thomas Paine, if I remember rightly, there is a sort of little museum that tells you all about his life, which is really worth going and having a little look at.
Well, we're opening up with somebody from the society, just giving us a very short introduction to Thetford, 5-10 minute introduction, which is to keep his name alive. It's good to keep all these people going, Richard, that people forget, and I don't know
Mm,
how much is taught in history in schools anymore. So it's great to be there.
absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to coming along. But as ever, you have a great number of interesting speakers to rile us up and show us reasons why we should resist and what things are going on that we might want to resist against. So
Right.
perhaps you could tell us where it is, when it is, and who you've got lined up.
Right. Well, we've got as you know, we change the theme each time. Sometimes we've had the same speakers, Richard, but they've
Mm,
always come at whatever they're doing at a different angle or updating everything so that
yes,
people are fully up to date. Because as you know, things change in 24 hours these days. A day is a long time in politics, as they say. Even if
yes.
you're not in politics, it's a long time sometimes. So the theme this time is farmers, food and freedom. Now, the farmers are very much in the headlines at the moment, and you can't imagine that we wouldn't start with a wonderful farmer who you know very well, and so do I. He's called Mark the Bowler Hat Farmer. I can't think of a nicer, funnier, harder working, or somebody who has got their finger on the pulse of the farming industry, the government, and all that goes with it than Mark. So we're opening up very, very strongly with Mark the Bowler Hat Farmer. We're also going on to talk about revitalizing, rejuvenating the land without the use of chemicals. And we've
Mm,
got two wonderful young men coming along to explain how to get full vitalization, if you like, back in the earth. Because at the moment, if you test any land anywhere, it is just barren. There's no goodness, nothing left in it, and this is all being done naturally. I can't wait to listen to them. Mark has actually started with the experiment with them to see how it's all working, which is working well. And they're also coming here on the 22nd of March, and you will be coming with the open road show with Mark again down here to Kent. So this is all working well together. So I'm also hoping that we've got, if only by video link, a Welsh hill farmer coming to join us because hill farming is so different. When you've only got about an eighth of an inch of soil on the mountainside,
mm.
telling people to grow different crops is just not an option. So I'm hoping, especially in the light of the inheritance tax, which is a smokescreen for a load of other things that are going on, but I'm hoping that we've got somebody from there as well. Now, that's the sort of farming side, and then there's the food side.
Mm.
And we've got the wonderful Dr. Neil McRae coming to talk about the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and use them or lose them. And Neil, if anybody's heard him before, is a wonderful speaker. He's great fun, but he's really serious that if we don't use these people, and Richard, I'm hoping that you will actually also join in on that on your own inimitable fashion. about coming out of the supermarkets and using proper food, the vitamins that are in it, etc. We've got to come away from this awful stuff that's being produced and get back to what nature intended.
Oh, I totally agree.
That,
And just on that one point, it's fascinating that we go to a number of these events, and one of the questions I do ask to people who are supposedly all awake, and I say, "How many of you in the room, put your hands up, please, still go to the supermarket?" And it is a surprising number. And of course, we've been trained that way, but just getting them to think slightly differently, that actually there's a farm shop only 2 miles down the road and it's grass-fed cattle, or it's this, that and the other, is really helps. Just, oh, I hadn't even thought about it.
yeah, it's quite true. And going back to when I was young, there was no such thing as a supermarket.
No.
Nothing at all. We all had, this little village where I live, when you've been to visit, had everything. We had a butcher, we had the baker, a grocer, a post office, all completely separate, all vibrant businesses. And they've all been taken over, unfortunately, when these big supermarkets opened up in town, all under one. It's awful, really. It's taken the guts out of the countryside, and now, of course, we realise it's all been done on purpose.
Hmm.
We have got to reverse the trend of the last 40, 50 years, I'm afraid. But anyway, so that's that side of things. And then we're going to do our usual thing and updating on the 5G and the fourth industrial revolution. And that really is an update. All the videos that Mark and Nicholas have done in the past are all on our websites and on their own websites. But it's updating, and there's all sorts of things going on at the moment, nefarious goings on. But these two men are totally on top and will update on where they are, including taking a number of dignitaries, if I may put them that way, to court. So we'll be updating everything there. And then Godfrey can't be with us, but he's done it's doing a wonderful video for us. Godfrey Bloom, talking about the woes in the banking and finance industry, and we all know that money is not as we thought it was. Godfrey's
Hmm.
done some wonderful stuff in the past. He can't be with us. He's down in the West Country on that weekend, but he will be with us via video. We've got two. You talked about him earlier, Sovereign Pete. Now, Sovereign Pete, unfortunately, again, can't be with us, but he's doing a video on common law and to the basics, really, because there are so many people, Richard, that even though come to us that do not understand the basics. So we've got Pete has very kindly doing a video with us, so that comes out as well. Then we have got a section. At the moment, there's an awful lot of talk about what is happening to children. Children are
Hmm.
disappearing, all sorts of things are happening. And we've got a wonderful section with four speakers. I'm not going to tell you who they all are at this moment in time, but they're coming at things that even our audience will have no idea about. And I think it's high time that we put everything out on the table, as it were, and let everybody see really what is happening to children in this country. Now, for instance, my own council here, Kent County Council, we've been responsible for the children that have been coming over in these boats unaccompanied. You wouldn't believe it, they've lost over 100 of them.
Just lost them just like that. Well, they are quite small, kids. It's easy to sort of go, where did I put him now? No, it's a serious thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to make
It,
light of it, but
no, no,
that's
no, no,
awful.
I know you didn't, but it is so serious, and it's not just looking at the grooming gangs, which have been heavily in the news. It's looking
Yes.
at a whole load of ranges, including looking at the judiciary and what they aren't doing. To my horror, yesterday, I see in North Wales another priest has been caught with explicit images on his devices, phones, computers, etc. He was got two churches in Llandudno and was chaplain at a boys' school. He's been to court and he's been given a 32-week suspended sentence for 2 years
My
for
goodness.
indecent images of children. I think they were between the ages of 3 and 7.
Oh my goodness.
Horrific, horrific. And he's been given a suspended sentence for 32 weeks. What message does that send to anybody?
Yes. Yeah, no, exactly. Absolutely. Well, if you're a pillar of of society, it seems that you can get away with all sorts of things.
Well, it's absolutely horrendous. Now, yesterday we learnt that the councils, and you've done a programme on this, have got round the system that instead of going broke, they can up the council tax for up to 25%. I think it's in one council are trying to do it. Now, we've got the wonderful Neil Petrie from Direct Democracy. And of course, what they have to do, if they're going to put the council tax up over, I think it's 5%, they have to go out to the local people and have a local referendum. Now, I can't think of a better person to come and talk to us about how that's all going to work than Neil Petrie. And
Yes.
so, direct democracy, I think, is something that we've really got to focus on. And talking again about going back to the children for a second, we've got Ray Savage, an ex-policeman, coming to talk because he busted a group up in London and he will talk about what it's like to be a policeman and going to your superiors, trying to get things done. So that's absolutely fantastic. We're getting people like Ray in. They're the people that are on the line and have
Yes.
met the resistance, if you like, from higher up.
Yeah,
So
no, that would be
got to go back to
fascinating.
that. And we also have the only MP that I've ever thought in the last 10 years, particularly, has been worth his salt. We've got Andrew Bridgen coming to talk.
Do you know, I thought you were going to say Boris Johnson then for a minute. I don't know why I
I
thought
know.
that.
I'm
Oh,
sorry about that. He was unavailable, so we've got the next
thank
best
goodness
thing.
for that. We've got the wonderful Andrew Bridgen. Oh, that's superb.
So we've got Andrew Bridgen. So our lineup, Richard, is absolutely fantastic. And a homegrown, well, he's not really homegrown, he's an immigrant from Liverpool. But we've got Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor was in the armed forces, and he's going to talk about what it means joining the armed forces to maintain our freedom and other people's freedoms across the world. So that covers the side of things. Mark is a wonderful speaker.
Mm,
He's also such great fun, as you know. We You can't help but smile when Mark's talking. It's serious size that it is, but he'll be absolutely to have somebody actually from Thetford talking in Thetford is wonderful. So that
absolutely.
really completes our lineup. I can't think it's going to be such a day. It's still £10 a head. We haven't put the price up. That's the whole day from 11 o'clock in the morning, not 12 o'clock this time, 11 o'clock till 6. Good breaks for lunch and afternoon tea, etc. So please come along to the Carnegie in Thetford on the 22nd of February.
Brilliant. There we are. How about that? That sounds amazing lineup. These great resists get better and better every time, which is fantastic. And you're covering different parts of the country. I mean, apart from Liverpool, which we were unable to go to due to a hotel deciding they didn't want us there because of rumours they'd heard. But otherwise, I mean, it's absolutely amazing going around the country, sending out the message and getting people to listen and open their minds to what's going on. It's fantastic. You do amazing work, Liz.
Well, I don't know about that, but I have to tell you that this time alone, I know we've got people coming from Cornwall, we've got people coming from Scotland, we've got people coming from Wales, so all the way across to Thetford. Now, East Anglia is not the easiest places to get to, so people really do enjoy the day. I know,
Mm.
because although it's serious, we give all the solutions to the problems, but at least a lot of other things are aired as well, Richard, which I think is so important.
And people get to meet one another as well, because often they may have been in communication with each other through WhatsApp, through various groups and things. But it's also a chance for people who of like-minded to sort of talk to each other as well and share knowledge, which is brilliant.
We
So
have a
that
wonderful doctor coming along as well, talking about things that you're not allowed to talk about on the YouTube or what have you. And he had 10 minutes with us only in Derbyshire because I didn't know of him beforehand. But he's coming to do a full on. So there we go. I can't wait really. As you know, the day goes very quickly, and but people always go away with a big smile on their face. The energy in the halls that we've hired have been fantastic.
And so, where can people get tickets to come along and book up in advance should they
It's
wish to?
the Fat Soma website as before, Richard, and I'll send the details over for you because you always put it up on the bottom. It's
Yes,
on the Fat
in the
Soma
description.
tickets are going very well, I have to say. People are asking as soon as we finish one, we're hoping to be in the Devon Cornwall region in at the end of April, beginning of May.
Oh,
So,
lovely. You better check
sorry,
the
let me
dates
put my phone
when you
down.
get a chance. Check,
Yes.
yeah,
So as soon as we've got dates and venue, we'll let you know.
fantastic. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an amazing event. Tickets are selling out, as they say, so book early, all that sort of stuff. And hopefully, we'll see you there.
Well,
Liz,
I shall
I was,
I look forward to it, and to you too, Richard. Thank you for supporting us as you've always done, and for everybody else. People come along and give all their talks. Actually, they don't charge, and it's been absolutely amazing, just to make sure that everybody gets the alternative views sometimes to those that
hmm.
you're have put down your throat.
Well, I can tell you I certainly will be charging up the motorway to get to the event, to be part of it. That's the charging that I should be doing. Liz, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us about it. As ever, it's going to be an amazing event, and I hope that people do come along, check it out. And if you can't come to this one, there's the next one down the line. Liz, thanks again. It's been great to catch up with you.
Pleasure.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Till then, bye for now.